Welcome to Rotten Potatoes with Bryce.
And Forrest. We're here reviewing your favorite TV shows, movies, and video games.
On this week's episode, we are going to ruin the big, famous Netflix series Squid Games.
Yep.
Um, it was kind of funny. So we were like on this binger of just like rewatching Res Dogs so much. And then I don't even know why we grabbed it. I think it's because it was just on like the top. And so we like started watching it together.
Mm-hmm.
And we kicked it on. I absolutely hate dubbed, whether it be an anime
I'm right there with you.
or like German or French. I don't care where it's dubbed from. I cannot stand the
Yep.
words not matching up with the mouth.
Yep.
And so, like, we watched what was like 2 episodes that first night, and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I
Right.
don't
I was the same way.
know. And then I got home from St. Louis, and everywhere, Squid Games, Squid Games, Squid Games, Squid Games, Squid Games. I was like, all right, I gotta sit down and force myself to watch this shit.
Yep.
And then like episode like 4, I believe, it really gets like heated, and it's like I don't even realize that the words aren't matching at that point. Like I'm like so deeply involved in this story,
Yeah.
and this will probably be the only foreign film that I ever watched in my life. Well, I guess we watched Red Black Sky, so this will be the second
Yeah.
foreign film that we will
Yeah.
watch.
I mean, I'm also that same way. I need it to like. Plus, it's also like a thing of like actually like sounding like that person too, because sometimes they do a terrible job of finding someone to replace that person's voice. And on this one, everybody's voice is somewhat matched, like who they were and like what you
Yeah,
think they would sound like, right? And on a lot of movies, they just don't even care to bother to make that step forward, right? So like
right.
it was at least a little helpful, even though it was tough to keep up. Like it was just like, okay, let's try it.
It did let me like wander off like during like the like just the talking scenes,
Mm,
because I could just because I like anytime there's a talking scene, like I can't watch, and so like I'd be like
right.
doing something in the background. It was kind of nice like just to like let it play and like just listen to them talk versus
Mm,
watching the shit not match up. But yeah, it did. I mean, for the most part, I mean, you had like the crazy woman that had to pee, and I could not stand
yeah,
her voice. I could
yeah,
not stand that whatsoever. That
that was
bothered me
tough.
so much.
Yeah.
Um, that really was like the only one that didn't match. I think the old man went very well
Mhm.
with his and everything else. I think it went pretty good.
Mhm.
So anyway, so Squid Games. You guys haven't watched it yet. You should really just stop this podcast. Have it downloaded though, so it like helps us out. But go watch it. It's a lot of fun. So it starts out, and it's like the Hunger Games s Battle Royale, which Battle Royale the movie, not the countless video games that we see now. But it's like it's in that like realm of kind of type of genre.
Mhm.
Um, and so it starts off with this like dude that is like in it with like loan sharks for like shittily betting on horses, like just cannot get his life
Mhm.
together and bet on a good horse.
Right.
So he gets beaten up and like threatened to like take an eyeball out and whatnot. And then I had quickly looked up because like the dude was like betting like 100,000 won to like slap him or to get the what is that origami type
The
thing, the
red
flip
blue
over.
game. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I had to like look it up, and it's like $8. It's
Oh,
like,
really?
oh yeah, like I
That's
think,
funny.
or no, it'd be $80 because it's
Yeah,
8 cents
it's
for every dollar.
right. Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be about $80. So I mean, it's like it wasn't like a whole lot. But then but obviously like he knew that he didn't have the money. He was like, oh no, I'm not gonna do it. And he's like, well, which I don't know if this is real. Like I should have probably done a little bit more research on this, but like people so readily and openly like sell their bodies for just anything in South Korea. I just feel like that was such a like just sign your body over here, like sign your body over there, like
Oh, like
it was just
the
odd.
contract or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Because like he had the contract for his kidneys if you didn't pay him like the million that he
Yeah,
owed him.
the contracts were a weird thing that I didn't really notice. And like he talks about it at the end about it a little bit, but like I still didn't think much about the contracts throughout the whole thing. Like, I get that they signed everything away basically, but like
But you had
I
to
don't
like
know.
just be able to like sign over organs. It's just so odd.
Yeah,
And then he like signed over that like he was gonna be like slapped in the face instead of like paying the 100,000 won,
yeah.
which is just odd. Or the 10,000 won. I don't remember how much exactly it was. And so they
It's a
played that
100,000, I
game,
think.
and he
Yeah.
gives him that card. He's like, if you want to play some games with more money, give this call, and calls them, gets them all hooked up, and then they venture off to the island.
Hmm.
Um, which was just such a weird, because that's exactly how battle royale happens, like the old Japanese movie. Like the kids are on the field trip, and then like the bus attendant takes over and just like gasses everybody,
Hmm.
and then they end up on the remote island. So like
Right.
100% taken from the playbook of battle royale.
True. Yeah. And I don't know. Like, it's obviously there's a lot of people that are in debt, right? And that like are in trouble with money, but like all these people were just so willing to like throw everything away just to try and make a lot of money. Like, I get that you're in debt, but like I don't know, just work on it. I don't know. And it's weird.
Yeah, I know. Like, don't be in the debt. Like that one guy was stealing money from his like accounts and stuff like that, and
Mm.
whatnot. So like, there's some serious shit going on.
Right. Yeah.
But it's just like, I don't know. It's just like that's what I was like trying to get at a little bit ago. Like the willingness just to sign your body, like your physical body, over to shit is just fucking blows me away.
Right.
Um, and so they have that aspect, and so they sign it all without even like really reading the contract.
Yeah.
That you have to play the game, and once you play your first game, you cannot back out from the game, and you have to finish out the whole
Yeah.
series. And so they get assigned a number, and there's 456 people to start.
Hmm.
And so they come up and they say you have to complete 6 games, and if every time that a game passes, we put money in this pig, and at the end of it, then the money gets split amongst all the winners.
Hmm.
And so everyone's like, oh shit, like crazy, whatever. And so the first game comes up, and it's red light, green light. So all these are like kids games.
Yeah.
All these are like little kid games. And so it's so odd. And I think I can't remember exactly what was the first trigger to it all.
Well, it was these two like goony dudes that were just kind of messing around, and like they run out there, and he's like, okay, easy. Like he just keeps running, and then like he accidentally moves a little bit, and then he gets shot, and the other guy's like, oh gosh, real. Like this is really happening. Like, oh my gosh.
And then this
So
old man who he like, I think what he has a brain tumor or something. He's just trying to like get money for his family and whatnot. Like he's not in debt or anything, but he wanted to like provide before he dies. Which he becomes like my favorite character. Like I'm rooting for him the whole time. I'm like, when something's going on, I'm like, let's go, like let's do this, old man. And so when he runs out there, I was like, oh shit, he's gonna get shot. And he's like telling everyone, he's like, come on, come on, come on, let's go, let's go. And so
yeah,
then they make it through, and they have a time limit too. So not
right.
only you have red light, green light, but you also have to get to the winning point before the time runs out, or it just slaughters everybody.
Yep.
Um, and then the doctor comes in, one of his friends, which is the doctor, tells him to like, oh, hide behind someone, because if they flinch, they'll get shot and you'll live. And
Right.
so they kind of do that. And then you have people like holding on to the legs and like getting ready to like, it's like a bloodbath in the beginning. I think, what is it, like 200
Yeah.
people die
At
in that
least, yeah.
first game.
Yeah.
I was
It's
like,
it's a crazy introduction to like what's actually happening, because like at first you're like, okay, like I don't really know what's happening here. Like they're playing games for money. Like
right, you
obviously
think it's
people
like
get
some kind of TV
eliminated,
show shit.
right? And like all of a sudden you're like, oh, elimination's an elimination. Like you're done. Like that's over. You're dead. Like
Yeah, your
see you
life's
later.
eliminated when you're eliminated.
And so like then the reality of it sets in for everybody else too, and it's like, okay, like this is playing for your life, not just playing a game for money, and
Right.
yeah, because like once that sets in, like then like you lose your ethics and everything else goes out the window. Mostly, like most people, like you're just trying
Oh
to
yeah.
survive at that point, right? Like you're just not thinking about what's everybody else doing, what's this happening. Like you're like survive, 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 survive,
Like
and
fight or
like
flight type deal.
everything else goes out the window.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
then And then, out of all people, the old man's the only one that reads the damn contract. Everyone's sitting there freaking out, like, I don't want to play the game anymore. And then, like, you have the person that, like, dies because, like, she's like, I don't want to play the game. He's like, all right, well, if you don't want to play the game, then we're going to eliminate you. And
Right.
straight up eliminated him in front of everybody. And so the old man's like, wait a minute. If we want to do half, or more than half, the majority, then we get to go home. And so
Mhm.
I was thinking, I was like, there's no way like the majority's gonna do this just because like we have like 8 other episodes.
Right. That's what I was
Like,
thinking too. Right.
there's no way. And
Yep.
so the old man ends up getting everyone like persuaded and to just go ahead and call it quits and go home. And we're like, I was like, damn, there's a lot of 8 more episodes. Like,
Hmm.
don't know what the hell's going on.
Right. Like, what's gonna happen here? Yeah. Like, I also thought like, cause like it's like, wait, like what the hell's going on here? Like, what we gonna watch their lives now and like something else happens? Like, what where are we going with this? You know?
Watch them all get slaughtered by a loan shark.
Yeah. And then they go home and then they like kind of like sit for a while and then like they all get sent letters again and they get invited back to the game, which is insane in and of itself. Like, hey, like this game where we were killing people and you were trapped in, would you like to come back? Because we can do that. We have the facility. You were just there. Like, come on back.
Yeah, but the people did see how much money was in that fucking pig.
Right, but like, I don't know. Like, it also comes down to like the value of money, I guess, to you personally, and like how much your debt actually was. And
See, like, I don't know if I would personally do it. Like, I don't know, even if I don't think I would even go back. Even if I did make it, who says that I'd fucking make it? I doubt I'd make it. My fat ass would probably fall, get shot
yeah,
up.
nah,
But like, I would not come back. I would just,
no.
just fucking leave it. Just
Like,
fucking,
just deal
fucking.
with your problems that you've dug yourself into. Like, obviously, like not everybody probably had those things were their fault, I guess, but like
Yeah.
just deal with what life gives you, I guess. I mean, it's not worth dying over, because that's all it is. You die, you're just gone, and
Yeah, but really, I mean, like, the first game was like kind of easy. Like, if you knew the fucking rules, I mean, like,
yeah, but
kind of
like
ish.
that's the first game.
So,
It's obviously gonna get harder, right? They're not gonna make it easier.
you don't know that.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
so at this point, I don't know for sure if the doctor. Do we know about the doctor at this point? Like why he
No,
gets
I
cheats?
don't think we learned much more about him yet.
Um, and
But
so okay, so all of a sudden the doctor, yeah, because the doctor opens up the egg and finds out
right,
that finds the next
what the
game,
next
which
game is? Yeah.
we don't know what the next game is because we can't read Korean,
True.
but it shows that he knows the next game.
Right.
And so he supposedly is partnered up with the main character, Guan, right? Is it
Gian, I
Guan?
think.
Or Jian, yeah, Jian.
Yeah.
It's Jian, it's his friend from his little friend or his friend from back in school that went off
Yep.
to college and did all sorts of shit. And the old man, I think at that point. Oh yeah,
Right.
and then the Pakistani, I think he was also
Ollie.
friends at
Yeah.
that point.
Right.
And so all of them are these friends and they're like, you know what, we're gonna help each other through all this. And then the doctor knows going in that what the game is going to be, but still let them choose
Right.
wrong, which I was like, that is such horseshit.
Right. And like there were two shapes that were obviously harder in this scenario. So like the game is like honeycomb, and so like there's different sugar plates basically of like shapes. So it's like triangle, circle, star, and umbrella. And obviously umbrella is the hardest one because it's got different points and the hook on
It's
it.
even got the little triangle things too, as
Yeah.
well.
And so like that's next to impossible, which we later see that basically everyone that had umbrella dies because it's umbrella. Like,
Yeah.
and so they're given a needle to like poke out and like give them an advantage of like trying to get it out or whatever. But yeah, it still like is impossible or next to it. So
Yeah, and even the main character, pulls it and he says, "I'm gonna die." Like he straight
Hmm.
up like that's how he starts it off. He's like, "This is it for me. Like I'm dead." Because then the doctor grabs a fucking triangle, which is the easiest one to pop out, and almost let the old man get the umbrella. That piece of shit. But the old man ends up getting, what is it, the circle?
Star.
Or no,
Star.
he gets the star, and then Ali gets the
Circle.
triangle. No, the circle. You're correct.
Yep.
I can't remember what his friend
His
gets.
childhood friend got the triangle.
Okay,
Yeah.
so his childhood friend and the doctor both got the triangle.
I believe so. And at that point you're like seeing that his childhood friend is kind of sus because he's letting them go apart different ways, even though he's having an inclination of like what's happening and like what's going down. He still is like, no, yeah, we should all split up just in case. And you're like, okay, start to not trust this guy. He's not trustworthy at all. But
Yeah, and then the crazy lady who I have a love for her and then I have a hate for her. Like it is such a
all
drastically like
hate, all
I
hate.
can't stand her, and then sometimes I love the shit out of her. But she gets her lighter because she's a smoker, and it's just sitting there just lighting the whole needle up to like kind of melt the honeycomb, so then she can get it free. And then she passes it to the ungrateful asshole of a gangster to let him, do the same thing and cut it out. But
Hmm.
um, main guy ends up figuring out that if like the backside of it's like super 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 thin, so if he just licks it and like dissolves it that way, then he can pop it
Right.
out. And so he ends up getting it, and then the old man sees him do it, so then he um, licks it and tries to break it free and whatnot.
Hmm.
And so like yeah, tons of people just started getting shot, like because like you would like see it, and then they like break off like the tiny little corner piece and boom shot. Boom shot, boom shot. It just remind me of the Parks and Rec episode when the Venezuelans come up. He's
Yeah.
like, "This go to jail, that go to jail,"
Go to the jail.
and so I was just thinking, "Oh, break this corner, die,"
Yep.
you know,
Yeah.
accidentally pop
Definitely.
this wrong, die. Like, just started
Yeah.
popping people left and right.
And that would be a very difficult game to do too, because like it's very precision based, and even the smallest nick
I would have shattered that fucking
is
star or
over.
moon, whatever. I would have shattered it.
Oh,
Would have been done.
dude, way too tough.
And then so they go through that, and then do they get starved that night, or did they get starved the night before? When's the first night they get starved?
I think that's after they got the egg, so that's the starved night. Yeah. So
I just start slaughtering people left and right. I thought that
right,
was like,
that was crazy.
I was like, let them play the games and die that way. Like I thought that was so
Right.
stupid that they were able to just.
I guess it's part of the game, turning everybody against each other, and
I just love how they like, oh, we're all gonna meet at the old man's bed, and they go, the old man's like, where's he at? Then he's sitting there screaming on top of this fucking tower of beds.
I'm
Stop.
scared. Stop.
I was like, how did he just climb all the way up there? There's
Yeah,
no fucking way.
because it was like, where'd he go? Like, what's he doing? He's just, I'm scared.
I was constantly looking for him throughout all like and then the fact that they like flashed the light to make it like that much more
Hmm.
menacing was like, Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah,
Like they
which
were definitely.
they only end up killing like 17 people, but it just feels like a lot more at that point because there's only like 100 or something to begin with, and then it goes down to like 87 or 86 or something at that point. And
Yeah.
which I mean, when they all came back, like 217 came back, I think total for the second round, if I remember right, something like that.
I wish I would have paid attention to the numbers a little bit better, but I didn't.
But yeah, and
So yeah, so that happened. And then the third game comes about. I don't think anything goes on before the third game, but then the doctor finds out it's tug of war. So he's begging the gangsters, I need on your team, I need on your team, like I need someone strong. And then he's like, I'll tell you, I'll, let you know that I know. And then they kick the crazy lady off,
hmm.
which rightfully so. She's crazy.
Yeah,
And so, um, main guy, the childhood friend, the North Korean lady. I think
Yep.
doesn't she join him?
Yep. And then
And then
Ollie,
the old man.
the old man. Yeah. And they have to go
So
look
it's
for new people.
yeah. So it's 10 in total. Each round or each group has to be 10, and so they divide up in like the sections and whatnot. And so like literally, uh, Xiang, what's it's Jin Yu? Is it what's his name?
Jian?
John Yu?
Jian? Yeah.
Is it just John?
Jian, the main character?
Yeah, Jian. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Jian. I told you it's Jian. I don't know if you're saying it was different. So Jian, he like his team is like such a mosh podge of ragtag people that don't
Mhm.
belong on a tug of war team. Is almost like the Faisal.
Yeah.
Um, I guarantee you, Greek Week this year though, someone's gonna try the fucking tug of war thing. I guarantee it. Guarantee it.
Probably. Yeah.
Just it's just gonna happen. I just know it's gonna happen. So anyways, they do tug of war, and like everyone's like, oh shit, like we have old man, we have two women, like there's no way we're gonna make this tug of war. Like we're gonna die.
Hmm.
And then all of a sudden, old man comes out with like his prophecy of tug of war and explains in like the full detail and the full depth of like how to win tug of war. And so they go against this like big ass group, and I was like, I don't know, like all of the main people can't die now.
Right.
Like there's
Right.
no way. So I was like, I bet you the old man shit works.
Yep.
And so it goes on.
It's a weird like lean back strategy that like I don't think would actually work.
I promise you right now, someone in Greek Week's gonna try it this year.
Probably, but like it doesn't mean it's
Guarantee
gonna
it.
work. I mean,
Oh,
Classic
absolutely
wins every
won't.
year no matter what, anyways. Um,
Got them big boys.
but also the doctor, since we mentioned him, like there's like an underground scene going on in this game area where like some of the workers are helping harvest organs from the players that have just recently died and selling
Yeah,
them.
on the black
So
market.
they're selling organs on the black market to make money on the side on this crazy gig that they already have. Um,
Oh yeah, we didn't explain like the workers.
yeah,
None of them supposedly can talk to each other, and they're all like remain silent. And like,
right.
I think the circles are the bottom of the totem pole, and then you have the
Yeah,
triangles, and then squares are at the top.
yep. And then you have the front man who's like he's got a black mask and never see anything about him. Um, but
He
yeah,
needs to be a
and
Fortnite character.
yeah, he's basically a Fortnite character, what it looks like. But yeah, so like they, then I guess if they find out who you are too, if anybody sees your face or your
Yeah,
identity, they just kill you because no one can know who you are or what you do, like because they're just trying to keep it from getting out whatsoever. Um, but yeah, so like it's this crazy thing where like you work there and you're also harvesting organs. Like it's how fucked up can you be, Like it's
yeah,
just messed up.
yeah. So that happens. We figured that out. And I was like, oh shit! Like when I started finding out that they were harvesting all that
Yeah.
shit. Um, and then like going through like the weird kitchen area, tunnel, dill, like the
Mhm.
whole thing was like marked out for it
Right.
to avoid all the cameras.
And
And so
there's
yeah.
there's also the cop that we didn't mention at this point. He's looking for his brother that also was in the game at some point. Um, and so he's trying to figure out what happened to his brother and trying to find him and figure out what the Squid Game is and like what all this is. And so he goes undercover as a worker
A
and
worker
is
bee.
yeah, he's like trying to act like he belongs there and not get caught. And so he's running around doing stuff this whole time, trying to figure things out while the game is being played.
Yeah. And like he keeps getting caught but keeps getting away. Like that's what blows me away is that he literally gets caught every single day,
Hmm.
but then he still survives. Like it's just like what do you mean you don't know? Like we're gonna have a talk
Right.
about that, and then he gets fucking killed by one of the players. So he's like, "Oh, I guess we're not gonna have a talk about that." And switches mask because, like, I think your mask is like your number, and so like if they
Hmm.
scan you, then they can just scan that and be like, "Oh, that's who you are." And
Yeah.
so, um, it's yeah, it's very crazy. There's a lot of shit going on that like it just there's just so much like to unravel.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely some next level shit to where like you're like, why? Who thought of this? Like, why? Why are you thinking about this? Like weird
Yeah, because
concept
the
of
whole
reality.
organ thing is like a whole nother story within
Right,
itself.
that's like just an extra piece. You're like, oh, and we're gonna have these workers harvesting organs because I think it's a cool idea. Like what?
Yeah, it's kind of nuts. It's kind of absolutely nuts. So yeah, so you have that, and then you know, I think 20 people end up dying because two teams die, and then the rest of them are the winners. Um, which
Yeah, I think you get cut down to like 40 people total at this point. Around
which
that.
I think the next game personally is the worst one out of all of them. I think
Yeah.
I literally was like, damn. And so
Yeah.
next day they get told, and the VIPs are no, the VIPs are not there yet, right? They're
No.
only there for game 5. Okay,
Yeah.
so they get told, you have to get a partner. They don't tell you what the game's for or anything like that. You have to get the partner by the end of the time, such and such. And so um everyone's like trying to pick like beefy people and like trying to pick like people that they think that are gonna like help them out in the game. And then like G is like, the old man's not getting picked. And so he was like, I have to pick the old man
Hmm.
to like keep him to survive to like, and like that's kind of like what that built on, is that the whole reason why Jihan fucking grabbed the old man is so that he would be able to make it to the next game. And so you're like, yeah, like let's go, like that's such a good thing to do. And
Yeah.
um and then the Abdul
Ollie.
and Ali,
Yeah.
Abdul's his last name. Ali and childhood friend, they get together, and then you have the girl that killed her father and the North Korean. They're
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else that's
Those are really the
important?
only pairs. I mean, there's a pair of like husband and wife in there, and
Yeah, the
then
husband
there
and wife.
and then there's like a gangster that has his like underling is paired with him. Um, and then like the crazy lady doesn't get picked, and that'll come into play later. But like, so like they take her away, and like because she didn't get picked.
And she's sitting there screaming the whole time. They take
Right.
her away too.
Yeah. But yeah, this
But
game is
yeah,
definitely the most brutal one. But as soon as I said
yeah.
two people, I was like, never pick somebody you want to survive in a situation like this with two people, because like odds are either both y'all get eliminated or they're putting you against each other. So
See, like I thought the same way that Ji Hung thought. Like I thought, pick
no.
someone that you want to survive. I did not once think that it was a
Now, as soon as I
competition.
started picking each other, I was like, y'all fucked up. You're all dead. Like, we're gonna lose half the main characters right here.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And so we go into that piece, and so then they get to the thing. They say, "All right, you each have 10 marbles. One of you has to have 20 marbles by the end of this." And so you can't do it by force. You
Yep.
can do it by game, or you can do it by whatever. But as long as only one of you has to have 20
Yeah.
marbles, the other one is eliminated.
Yeah. It doesn't
And
matter what
so
game you play.
yeah,
Either
yeah, you can play whatever marble game you can play. And so like I was like, oh shit. Like I was like, man. And then like what you just said earlier, like half of the main people are now dead.
Yep.
Like
Automatically.
there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yep.
And so you feel bad for Ollie because like Ollie didn't get to play childhood games.
Yeah.
And so you're like thinking like, oh man, like he's gonna, screw him over and be like, oh, he's gonna, play a game that Ollie doesn't understand and get those marbles. And so they play, which I kind of want to low key learn that game. I think that game is a lot more fun than it seems to be.
The odds and evens.
Hmm.
That's a really easy game. I figured it out while they were playing it.
Right, right. That's what I'm saying. I think it'd be fun to like actually play it.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy
Um,
enough. Probably make it a
like
drinking
it'd
game
be
if you
like a
wanted to.
definitely, yeah, yeah. You wager how many drinks
Yeah.
you have your whole bottle. Like
I
you
think
have
I've
your
played
whole.
something like that before. Like, I
Oh,
don't know.
that'd be a lot of fun to do. But yeah, so like, but Ollie ends up like just kicking ass and gets 19 marbles. And I was like, "Fuck yeah, Ollie!" Like, because that
Right.
other guy, I was already like, something's off
Yeah.
about him. Something doesn't
Yeah.
feel right. And so, Ollie gets it, and then fucking childhood friends like, "How about we don't do that? We should get 10
Well,
marbles."
first he goes, "You fucking cheated." He's like, "How'd you cheat? I don't know how you cheated. Like, you don't know this game. Like, you cheated. You cheated me. You cheated me. You're a liar." Like, and just starts accusing him. And then, like, automatically from that, he goes into like begging mode of like, "Please, let's do something else." Like, no, thanks. Please help me. But yeah, which at this point, he's completely gone. Like, you know, this dude has nothing left. Like, he's lost it.
Yeah.
Poor
And
Ollie.
so he's a piece of shit. And so like he's like begs him, and then he ends up agreeing with him that they each get 10 marbles, and they go separate ways, and then they come back at the very end. And then you have North Korea and the South Korean, and they are together, and they're like, "Oh fuck this! Like we don't want to just like worry about games and just you know play one round and call it a day."
Right.
Which I would rather just like play for it because it would pass the time by. I think
I don't
versus
know. I kind of like what they did because like it's like, well, one of us is gonna die no matter what, right? So like we might as well sit and talk and enjoy it a little bit before the end, right? Because like I wouldn't want to spend my last 30 minutes or whatever playing a game, not actually doing anything useful. I don't know.
talking's not useful.
It's more useful than just throwing a marble around. So
So yeah, so North Korea, South Korea, they're fighting or they're battling or whatever, but they were only going to do it once at the end. And then the gangster one, I actually do like the gangster one
mhm,
because
that was
like
good,
he is losing his ass. I'm like, this man's gonna die.
right?
And then he made this stupid fucking game. And he's like, I request a change. Change
Right,
granted.
right. And this is a weird game of like just a made up game. He just digs a hole
Yeah,
in the
he
dirt
straight
and
up
like,
made it up on the spot.
yeah, it's weird. He just wanted a physical game he could play that would be
Yeah.
a little more advantage for him.
And then the husband and wife, it did not click that they were partners until he came back.
Yeah.
That shit fucked me up pretty hard. I was like, damn. I was like, I could not imagine being in that life.
The
Could not
Ali
imagine.
one messed me up the most. Like, cause like this dude doesn't know what's going on anyways. He's just trying to make money for his family, and like he's trusting these people because he has no one else to trust. And
Yeah.
he's fully trusting. He's like, okay, like I believe you. Like I'm gonna look around for these people because like he basically gets convinced that like not everybody's gonna finish the game because there's a lot of people that are old or young that don't want to finish. They're just gonna stave it off to the end, right? And so Ali goes looking around, and then he had tricked him and taken all the marbles and given him rocks. And so when he comes back, he's looking for him, and he's like, "Hey, like what happened? Like what's going on? Like what's happening?" And he dies, and it's just the saddest part.
Yeah. Well, it's also like it sucks too that like the old man, like because of his dementia, like he let him like, oh, I think you said odd when obviously he said even
Right.
and shit
Yeah.
and like purposely got him killed. I was so pissed when he got like I was not heartbroken. I was
Well,
just so pissed.
and like he even came back at the end though, and he's like, "I know what you're doing, and I get it, but
We're
like,
not there yet. We are not anywhere near there yet. This is me
yes,
still
we are. It's before
sulking
he
and
gets
pissed.
shot. Okay, hang out, chill out a bit. Okay, so like when he's coming back to him at the end with the marble, and he's
Oh,
giving it
because
to
he
him, he
has the one
says,
marble. Yes, yeah.
"Yes." He says, "Here, take it. Like, I know what you did, but we're best friends. Like I told you at the beginning, like best friends do this. We share everything. That's what we do." And so he gives it to him, and he says, "It's okay. I understand. Like I want you to take it." And
Sorry for the
so,
outlash. I
and
apologize.
then he leaves back behind there. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Calm down, bud.
And then he gets shot. The old man gets shot. It's just so much. I was just pissed. I was so pissed. I was just
And like I
super
was sad there,
pissed.
but like the saddest part was Ollie. I don't know why. I think it was because like he had nothing else and like he had nobody else and
And then North Korean won the Marble War. So there's that. And so she like purposely threw the marble low. As soon as she did that, I was like, damn. I said, that's going to suck. But
yeah, she did it because she's like, I have nothing. You have people relying on you, and like I have
Yeah.
nobody or nothing. Like, doesn't
And
matter
North
what I
Korea,
do.
best Korea.
Yeah, it
So
was
that
sad.
happens, yeah. And so, she advances, the husband advances, um, and then the main gangster guy advances, which that pissed me off. I thought he
Yeah.
should have fucking died a long time ago.
Yep.
Um, and so, the shitty part is that like they're like prepping them to like kill people again. And the good thing is that he talked to gangster and like, yo, like they're like trying to kill you because you're the strongest right now, and they know they have to get rid of whoever they need to get rid of. So you
Hmm.
need to like lay low, not kill anybody. So I was like, sweet, no one's gonna die tonight. And then you wake up the next morning and the husband hung himself, and I was like, damn, that sucks.
Yeah. But we also come to find out when they get back to the room that the crazy lady that didn't get picked by anyone just got passed on to the next round because of an
Which that
old
makes
rule.
sense.
Right, it does. But it's because of an old rule of like no one gets left behind kind of thing.
Yeah, everyone gets a
And
fair playing ground or fair
right.
playing field and all that stuff.
Which I mean, but at the same time, like they were killing people for less. So like they could have killed her and it wouldn't have made me think twice.
Yeah,
So
but the front runner has said several times that everyone is equal here. That there's no one that's not equal to anyone. You know what I mean? It's
right.
all a level playing field. So
Hmm.
I guess it kind of made sense, kind of didn't. I don't know. But yeah. So she comes back, and I was like, God damn, that crazy bird lady's back. D D is back. So she comes back, and they don't end up breaking out in war. And then the fifth game happens, and literally, like, I don't know if it was like a mistranslation or it was just me mishearing. But I talked to other people and they said the same thing. So like you're obviously gonna be like, oh no, I don't know why you interpreted it that way. So you're just gonna already call me dumb. But um I definitely heard that the glass panels that some glass panels like one person would step on them and step off and then it'd break behind them. And then other glass panels, two people would step on them and then it'd break after like the two people stepped on them. Is what I understood from it. And obviously like that wasn't right.
No.
See, that's why I told you you're gonna call me dumb. But I
No,
talked
because
to other people, and other people said the same
yeah, but he
shit.
says immediately. He says this one holds no weight, but this one can hold two humans' weight.
See, he said one person, it'll break on one person, and the
Yeah,
other one will break on two people. That isn't that makes it sound like the person can walk on it and then it breaks afterwards.
but he said it can hold two people's weight.
But the way he said it though does not. Anyways, it's whatever. And so like that's what the game is. It's a bridge that's got glass. Some of it can hold more weight. Some of it can't hold more weight. Um, and that this time the VIPs are entered in, and I think that is the dumbest piece out of the entire show. Is the VIPs. I think that should have never they should have never done any of that shit. That was so stupid.
Um, I don't know. I think it sews up later and like ties in later and makes more sense. But like if right in the moment right there, you're like, okay, well, what the hell is this? Like, why are they doing this?
And
Doesn't
why
make a
weren't
lot of
they there
sense.
on game one?
But I think later on it makes more sense once we learn a few things. Um, but it is a weird introduction of them being there. Like it's just like, okay, you're here to watch the game, but why weren't you here the whole time? Like you said, like why weren't you here for round one? Like why would you
And then
miss
stupid masks.
everything? Yeah, just to hide their identities or whatever. Um, but yeah, the glass game's interesting just because like it's a 50-50 shot on every single one, and like either go down or you don't. So
Yep.
and like the gym teacher at some point, he's like, "Oh, should I have a 1 in 32,000 chance or whatever to make it to the end?" He still had like I don't know 15 glass panels in front of him or something, and so
Yeah.
he just tries to run it out and make it, and just falls after like four. But
And then they're like, "Oh shit, which ones did he touch?"
right,
That
and one dude falls through one because he couldn't remember, and that's a crazy one.
was probably my favorite one
That was a
because it
wild one.
was it was definitely like you had to pay attention to the person in front of you, and you hope the person in front
Hmm.
of you paid attention to that person.
Right.
But like the fact that like I don't know if they just didn't do it, but like the like you couldn't advance until the next person advances in front of you. Which, granted, I guess you didn't want to,
No, there's no
but I
reason
love
you would want to do that.
how that guy was like, "I'm gonna be first, like fuck you, like you're not gonna be first." And then like as soon as it like tells him like what's going on, he like looks back like, "Ah shit."
Well, and it wasn't even like him being a dick. He was like, I spent my whole life being terrible at speaking up or whatever, and he's like, I'm finally doing it. Like, I'm gonna be number one. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go. And then he's like, fuck.
Fuck.
And he just dies immediately.
First time he stands up for himself, he dies.
Damn,
So sad, but so funny all at the same time.
big sad.
But yeah, so that shit happens. Um, and then so then they pile through it and all that issue. Then the crazy lady takes out the fucking gangster.
Hmm.
Made my whole life. It was
Yeah.
great. And then so the cop, so we come back to the cop. He's pretends to be a waiter, which he's got every job that they have ever offered on that island.
Yeah.
Like he literally goes from job to job.
Hmm.
Um, and so then of course one of them wants to have sex with him out of all the other
Yeah.
guys. There's so many other waiters there, but it's whatever. And so they go back to the corner, and that's when he was like, now you talk to me, and whatever. Then they go into that spiel and whatnot because he's like
Hmm.
trying to like bust the Squid Games
Right. And figure out information.
and whatnot. And so
Hmm.
that's going on. And then they blow the glass, which I guess it kind of made sense, but it kind of annoyed me all at the same time that like they made it through. Like, why'd the shit get blown? But it reminded me of like Saw.
It was a weird moment. Like, there was no reason to like have this extra moment. I mean, the only reason they did it was to like have her die, basically.
Yeah,
Because she gets cut with this huge piece of glass, right? Like, obviously she may not die, but like she's not gonna get treated in this place, and
right.
so she ends up bleeding a lot. And it was because they blew up the glass behind them, and
Yeah,
it didn't fit with the rest of the movie. Like, the rest of the movie didn't have those weird like, look, it's 3D moments. Like it was just such a weird piece that they added in. It didn't fit the rest
yeah.
of the movie.
It literally had to be because like it even had like now that you say the 3D, like it had like the little cuts in the
Right? It's
face and
like,
like
blood flying off. And it's like, and it hit all their cheeks. It hit nothing else except for their cheeks. And they're
in the
like,
same spot.
oh no! Like, it was just like, what the hell's going on here? And then later on, you're like, you see this huge glass chunk in her, and she's like, oh god, and it's like, what are you talking about? Like, it got blown up into tiny pieces. How did this one huge chunk hit you? Like,
Fly.
I, I'm lost on that one. That didn't make any
And
sense.
if you think about the order, she wasn't at the end. So like obviously like
Right.
she was not nearest to the bridge when it blew.
And yeah, and like in the end, it didn't matter that she was hurt anyways. Honestly, so
They would have he would have stabbed her regardless. He would
right.
have stabbed
So
her.
it's like, why'd you even bother making her hurt? Like, she still could have acted the same way at dinner and not ate a bunch just because she just didn't want to eat. Like,
Yeah.
it was so forced. I didn't like it.
Yeah, that was such an odd. That was probably the weirdest part about the whole thing besides the
And
VIPs.
and I get that they wanted to get it down to like the two of them because they're childhood friends or whatever, and like to do that, but like it didn't really make sense the way they did it, I guess.
Well, the Squid Games bothered the shit. I mean, the whole aspect of it. Like, granted, like there was supposed to be like multiple people. A,
Yeah.
B. He crosses the neck with both feet. He's supposed to be hobbling along until he gets to the other side
Yeah.
before he gets both of his
Yeah.
feet.
I
So I was
saw
like,
that too.
I was like, what the hell? Like he just like casually walked, and I was like, no, this is stupid. This is so stupid. And then there was like 7 fucking times where he could have just turned and ran to the squid, but yet he was like, no, I gotta like try to beat the shit out of you some more, and we gotta make this so much dramatic.
Yeah.
And it's just,
The from like last episode, just like from that moment on to the rest of it, like it all bothered me. Like, from that point on, the rest of the show, I was not happy with, really.
I
So
know, and then I like how like the banker's like, oh, we're gonna bring you up. Like, don't know how this $38 million got into your bank account, but like we want to like
right,
talk to you. Like, we're not questioning the reason why you
yeah,
have a random deposit of $38 million in your bank account.
yeah, it's
But
like this strange thing of like, oh, like We just want to have some of it to use. So
Yeah, and so he's
yeah,
like, "Fuck that." Which, granted, like I think if we played the Squid Game, like a drunken like was able to like baseball diamond it, I think that'd be a lot of fun too.
that'd be a
Um,
hell of a
it'd be
thing.
interesting. Be a lot of people getting hurt. It'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so like, and that was really stupid. And then this briefcase full of cash for the kid. Yeah, when he went to go get the kid, I was like, well, you didn't go talk to your own kid, but I guess you're helping the North Korean lady like get her
Yeah.
kid.
His
Okay,
kid
I
was no
guess.
longer in the country, so I get it.
I guess. And so this part was like, I don't know. It was weird because like the drunken man was also the old man. At least he looked like him a lot. Maybe he didn't.
What?
But like when they zoomed in on him, it almost looked like he was the old man as well. But yeah, so he like randomly finds the old man, and the old man's like, "I was behind it all."
Right.
I was like, I went from loving the old man to absolutely hating the old man. He was a trash can.
Yeah.
Deserved to die.
It was weird. It was really weird because they didn't need that part. It was so.
And then when did he have time to like run upstairs and like put a suit on and say like, no, like I don't want to meet the VIPs? And
Yeah,
then
like you just see like his suit on a mannequin, and like later, like he just like, oh no, he doesn't want to come see you guys, and it's like, okay, we don't even know who this guy is anyway, so it doesn't matter, I guess.
and the
But
VIPs, by the time the VIPs got there, he was already dead in the games.
right,
So like, why wouldn't he have just like come out? It was stupid because at that point it would have been cool. I think if they would have revealed him at that point.
yeah,
But at the end of it, it was like, oh, okay. And then he like tells a backstory of like why
hmm,
it's a thing, and you're like, okay. Like it wasn't like I
yeah.
think it would have had a lot harder impact
And
if he showed
it
him to the VIPs.
it really came down to this motherfucker just wanted to have fun, and it's like if
Yeah,
that's your only reasoning here, you're just a fucked up individual.
you slaughtered 444 people
And
because
like
you
that's
wanted to have fun.
this round. How
Oh
many
yeah,
rounds do they have a year, and how many
well,
years they've been doing it for?
because like the police, that police guy like went in and saw all those records of all those people.
Yep.
So like this has been going on for so long.
Hmm.
It's absolutely crazy.
I because it goes back to like the 80s or 70s or something when he's looking through the records, and it's like that means it's been going on for a long time, dude. And like
Yeah.
because like it also had like multiple sets per year, at least like 10 or 20, and it's like that's a lot of people that are just
Yeah.
dying for this stupid game. And like how do they get away with like all these missing people? There's no way.
They signed the contracts.
Doesn't matter. There's no way that like somebody's not like, hey, where'd my uncle go? Like, 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 is there just like boards of missing people in Korea all the time? Like, it's not a big country. Like, it's like a state over here. Like, how are you just missing all these people and it's fine? Because okay, let's see. Let's say like there's 400 people in this one game. There's probably 15 in that one year. So like
Yeah.
that's 4,500 people or something crazy like that. Like just
The
missing.
whole cities of South Korea going missing.
I know my math is terrible, but that's a lot of people. Like I
Yeah.
there's no fucking way.
No,
Like
there is no fucking way. No way at all. And it's just I don't know. It's just like there's so many holes. Like it was a great show and the
yeah.
games were really cool and it just kind of got shittier towards the end, but
Yeah.
um it like had a lot of plot holes that it like tried to fill that
Yeah.
were not there. So like I just I don't get
It
it.
it really fell apart at the end. Like it was good, like all the way up to like the point that I said, and then after that it just started falling apart more and more and more and more and more. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the show. It was fun to watch. But the way they ended it was absolutely terrible.
And they're like, "Oh, don't you remember us doing this? Like, oh, we could have gone home after this." And it's just stupid. It's just so stupid. I just there's
And the fact that like he takes that card from that guy and ends up like calling and being like, I'm coming back for you. I'm John
I'm,
Wick.
I'm
like,
Batman.
like,
Yeah,
what are you doing? It's like he became this hero. He like dyed his hair pink and was like, I'm a superhero now. Like,
I'm gonna get this frilly little haircut and call it a day. And like,
what?
I
Like,
don't
what
know.
was that scene? He's like, I'm gonna go get my hair dyed and like
And
cut.
it's like all these like anime, like little weird pictures that he's
I
like, I'm
just
gonna
didn't understand what because I thought it was lady haircuts on the wall,
it 100% was.
and I was like, is he gonna get a haircut for a lady? And like, not that that's not okay. It's fine. It's just it just seems so aggressive in the storyline. Like he was getting his haircut. I thought he would get a haircut and be like, okay, like I'm gonna go see my
And I
daughter
mean,
now.
his hair wasn't even that bad. Like it was,
But like
it
he
was
got his
just so
haircut
odd.
and dyed pink, and he's like,
Well, that's what I'm
okay,
saying. Like his hair before the haircut was not that bad.
yeah, but like I'm just saying, like, and then he's like, now I'm presentable for my daughter. Like, I don't know,
Yeah,
cause like what? It's because he. Why would he dye his hair? Uh,
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't go. But I think there already going to be like a season two. Like I think like this
That's
is
what
going to continue on.
Ivan was talking about, and like I was like, I don't think so, man. Like I would not watch season two. Like I liked it for what it was, but I don't think I'll watch a second series of it.
Because literally it's just going to be like a whole new cast
Yeah,
doing the same
maybe
thing.
that guy, right? Maybe.
Maybe he'll be the front runner next time, or maybe he'll take over the money position.
I
But
don't
he was
know.
very upset that people were dying, so I highly doubt it.
He'll probably just die.
It would have to be maximum 2 seasons though. Like I don't see it being able to go for a third
That's what I'm
season on
saying.
top of
Like
that. Like I just
half
don't.
the people that watched it are not gonna watch it a second time. Like,
No, definitely not.
and I would
Because
never rewatch that. Like, it was
no,
a good. It
no,
was a
no, no,
good. It
no.
was a good once through, right? Like, it was
Like I
good.
fell asleep through episode 2 and I never went back to like
I fell
rewatch it.
asleep on one of them too because I was watching them late, and like I woke up and I was like, I don't know what's going on, and like it was during the glass scene, and
There's a lot less people.
I was like, I don't know what the hell this is. I just went back to bed, and I was like, I'll watch it tomorrow because like I caught it like right at a part where like I think it was the first guy like standing on the glass pane like trying to figure out where to go, and I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's yeah. I had those doze off moments because like they have really interesting parts and they had really boring parts. Like
Yeah,
there was like it was like polar opposites. But
big lulls. Yeah.
yeah, but overall, it's a great TV show to watch once. I
Hmm.
don't really know about a second season or
Yeah.
anything worth a damn there, but um, if you guys are all still here, regardless if you're listening to us live or not live, we do have our link tree that is set up in our bio and in on it should be on the title of this.
Hmm.
Um, that gets us everywhere. So we have a second podcast called Historical Potatoes. We do like random, crazy historical facts that like you don't normally see in textbooks. We have our Twitch streams on there that we have our own personal Twitch streams on there. Forest affiliate, I'm trying to still get there. So Twitch Prime sub for us right now. Um, then we got Save Money with Honey. So if you want to add that to your Chrome browser, and then you can start saving money instantly, having all that fun. If you want to start your own podcast, go ahead and follow our link there. It'll kind of help you
Hmm.
out. You'll get a $20 Amazon gift card by doing that. Oh, anything. So if you're watching us on YouTube right now, you can watch us on Facebook. If you watch us on Facebook, you can watch us on Twitch. Twitch is only live. I don't think there's any VODs that come from Twitch.
Yeah.
So if you're hearing this now, then we're already gone. Um, and then we're also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, anywhere that you listen to podcasts. We're there. We also have our own TikTok channel, which is pretty dope, pretty lit. Um, so we're pretty much everywhere. Just follow that link tree, and you'll go into a maze and a dungeon of figuring out where we're all at. But
Yep.
did I miss anything? Are we good?
I think that about wraps it up.
Tune in next week, and we'll spoil something new.
Bye.
Bye.